That metallic pop isn't a bad strut or a dead steering rack. 15 months ago, I installed heavy-duty Bilstein B6 Monotube struts on my own personal 2004 XC90. I wanted to stabilize the ride a little on this, and it certainly did that indeed. However, I made a great mistake. I installed OE spec rubber spring seats. And by the sounds of things, I'm guessing those Bilsteins have completely shredded the mounts. And if I keep driving it, I'm going to bend $300 of dampener shafts and ruin a great set of tires. So let's get after this and get it resolved. Let's roll off the anti-lock brake cable. Now I have camber adjusting eccentric bolts here that I had put on aftermarket so I can get that camber aligned right. By default, they're just standard bolts. Let's remove the stabilizer bar, or the sway bar. 18 millimeter wrench and socket. To remove strut bolt, 21 millimeter wrench, 18 millimeter bolt. Now I'm going to mark this camber bolt in the direction they had it before. So I can put it on properly again. Now when I put that back together, I can align this in the same direction it came off. It'll be close. I'll probably still bring this back for an alignment when I'm done. So we got an 18 and a 14. Now this is going to want to drop. We're going to tie this up so it doesn't just flop off and break our brake line or our anti-lock brake sensor. Now this is going to want to flop down. Be careful of your cables. Okay, that's holding, but I'm going to hold it up just so it doesn't fall down on me. I moved the sway bar link out of the way and I disconnected the anti-lock brake sensor cable off of this mount also. I just rolled it out of there here and got some play in there. So this strut is now completely loose, ready to be removed, and I have this here just in case this wants to drop down of some sort. Hold the strut. Let's clean it up. I'm going to be installing SACHS OE strut bearing and a ÜRO HD or heavy-duty spring seat for this application this time. This should take care of those creaking sounds and the problems that I had with the OE non-heavy duty standard equipment. Never back off this center nut without compressing your spring first. There's over 300 pounds of stored energy in these springs. I use ABN McPherson strut compressors, and I've got 2 sets because I use 3. I use a third. A lot of times people will just use 2, 1 on each side, but I use 3 just for the safety factor of it. 1 extra just in case. Now we should be able to back up nut. Before you back that completely off, make sure you have a little bit of play here that you know you got the tension relieved. Stay safe. And I'm backing it off and I got play. So this is set. Again, I got 3 of them on here. I feel okay with this situation. One more check. I'm almost off my threads. I want to see that we're loose and everything is loose, okay? Nothing's gonna come exploding off there on me. Let's get this reassembled before we evaluate the old stuff. As you can see, the end of the spring will sit here at the end of this piece right here and then loop around. So line the end of this spring up here in this. So we got the plate on, the bearing on. Let's get this nut back on before, at least get a few threads on there. Whoops. Oh yeah. At least get a few threads on. So we'll be safe. Now we can talk about it. Make sure that line stays lined up with your spring. If you don't use this inner piece here to hold the shaft of your strut, it's just going to spin. I don't know if you can see that, but that's just spinning. So that's what we're doing here with this. We're holding it from spinning as we turn that shaft nut. All right, we've got lots of threads on. I'm feeling a lot better with the situation here. Everything's still lined up, and it's gonna stop. It's gonna bottom. All right, we got it. Let's relieve the tension on this one at a time, little at a time. These have safety pins on them. You make sure the spring stays in. Well, I wasn't seeing anything obvious with the spring plate. Nothing really tore up or broken in there. You know, it's only 15 months old. Then when I started looking at the bearing, I wasn't noticing too much on it, other than it really does. It spins a lot more than the new one does. The new one's much tighter. And then I was also noticing there's a lot of play in there. You hear that? Between here and here. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Anyway, it's kind of excessive. But this one does not have that much play. It has a little bit, but it does not have that much play in it. All right, this passenger side Bilstein's ready to go back and get installed. Hold that up. You'll get one started. You're good. Get the others started. Good, you don't need to tighten these up just yet. Get that bottom bolt in. Nice. Get your camber bolt in, or your standard bolt if you don't have a camber one installed. I marked this here. All right. So that I could get the right alignment back. I put the bottom one in the wrong direction. There we go. We can remove our temporary holding device. Hook up your sway bar link. Just push it down a little bit, feed it through. Roll back in your ABS sensor. Good. Roll this one back into its mounting bracket. Torque these up. Strut to knuckle, 77 foot-pounds plus 90 degrees. 77, and let's try to get a 90 out of that. And a little more, and 90. Close enough. Same on the lower bolt, 77 plus 90. Sway bar. Upper strut tower nuts. $103 foot-pounds. Smooth, quiet, articulating. If you're running upgraded suspension on your Volvo P2 platform, don't cheap out on the parts.